All right. Hello, and welcome to our Hall of Fame induction for 2023, everybody. Hello. Grab our seats. We're just about ready to go, and we've got some beautiful rings to hand out. We've got the next Hall of Fame class that we will be announcing as well, and an opportunity tonight to honor some of the greats that have walked around Bozeman and these halls, and of course, if you haven't been here in a while, I'm sure it all looks just a little bit different because it has grown quite precipitously over the last couple of years. So we can grab our seats and we can kind of get going. And we are just about ready here to hand out our Hall of Fame inductions. All right. Well, first of all, hello. I am Keaton Galogly. I am the voice of the Bobcats. So my first year here, so you may have heard my voice, but now at least you can see what it looks like behind the mic. And it's been really just a treat to get ingrained and get settled in here and get to know so many people. And if I haven't shaken your hand yet, please come over and say hello, because I'd love to meet you if you like to follow along with all the football and basketball over the course of the year. All right, so my first question is, though, how are we feeling tonight? How are we doing, everybody, tonight? Beautiful. Now, that sounds nice, but tomorrow is Cat Grizz, so I want to know how you're going to be feeling tomorrow night for Cat Grizz back here tomorrow. There we go. That's what we're looking for. That'll put some quakes into the Grizzlies when they have to make that long trip over the Great Divide. All right, hello again and welcome. Tonight's ceremony is an exciting one for us because of the achievement of our inductees and their qualities that they have embodied during their time here at Montana State and in the years since. Of course, tonight we will also close tonight's ceremonies with the announcement of next year's Hall of Fame class, but we've got some excitement before we get to that. So we are thrilled tonight to honor this year's amazing group of Hall of Fame Bobcats. Now, before we begin, if you have been inducted into the Bobcat Hall of Fame as an individual or as a part of a team, can you please stand up now so we can acknowledge you? So if you are a current Bobcat Hall of Famer, please rise now. Thank you. Now, I know as you have all walked around campus, whether you were here last week or haven't been here in quite a few years, I know it has changed dramatically. And so it's you, the Hall of Famers who are here now, who have certainly paved the road and laid the groundwork so that the student athletes we have today have all of the resources they have now and that they can continue to compete at the highest level both here and across the country. All right, up next, if you are a part of our Hall of Fame committee who has selected this tremendous class of individuals, if you don't mind standing now so we can recognize you. Thank you. The Hall of Fame committee. All right. Thank you so much to the Hall of Fame committee who helped us select this tremendous class of individuals. All right. At this time now, I would like to introduce the Montana State Director of Athletics, Leon Costello.
Wow, what a night. First of all, I just want to say welcome to the 2023 Montana State Athletics Hall of Fame induction ceremony. It's an honor and a privilege to be standing before you today. As we all know, Montana State is a world-class institution with a rich history of athletic and academic success. Today, we get to honor that success as 9 individuals will be forever enshrined as Bobcat Hall of Famers. I would like to officially welcome the 2023 Hall of Fame class, their families, and friends to tonight's celebration. Thank you for making the trip to Bozeman and spending the weekend with us. I would like to recognize a few guests who have joined us here today as well. If you would please stand when I say your name, please stand. I too just want to say, I know you've already stood, you don't need to stand again. I want to say thank you to the Hall of Fame committee and to the former Hall of Famers that are here. How about a round of applause again for them? They are the foundation for which this ceremony is built on. I would like all the athletic department staff and coaches to stand, please. A lot of them are over here, some back here. Thank you for joining us tonight. I would also like to thank Auxiliary Services for the space, tech support for the videos you're going to see, and MSU Catering for providing this delicious meal. A round of applause for them. I don't want to say the most important part, but how about a round of applause for Plonk for providing the bar for tonight? Yes. And a really, really special thank you to two individuals who I'm going to embarrass, but they're going to have to stand. But Rainey Poyce and Mary Shawn Mize, please stand. They are the ones that put the effort behind this, organizing this event. Thank you for everything you've done for us tonight. But of course, tonight, it's all about the Bobcat Hall of Fame inductees. Nights like tonight are truly special, and it's simply one of the best nights of the year for us here in MSU Athletics. It's truly an honor to be in the room with these Bobcat greats who were some of the best to ever wear the blue and gold, and to recognize them for their achievements. The accolades of this group speak for themselves. We have national award winners, national champions, All-Americans, conference champions, conference MVPs, all-conference selection, record holders, and the list goes on and on. But not only were they good in competition, but they also fulfilled the student role of being a student athlete. The inductees have also been very successful outside of competition and have become military veterans, coaches, business executives, attorneys, entrepreneurs, firefighters, professional athletes, just to name a few. To me, that's the real story about tonight. Our inductees have set an example that academic success can and usually does coincide with athletic success. The foundation for our current student athletes at MSU has been set thanks to individuals like our inductees tonight. It is our job as administrators, staff, coaches, and current student athletes to see that that tradition continues. I personally want to thank you for setting the bar at a level we all need to strive to achieve. But I also want to offer up one more challenge. Don't let tonight be the finish line. Continue to stay involved and engaged with everything we are doing on campus, within the athletic department, and in your sport. Be an ambassador for us. Give your time, if you can, and help us promote the great things that are happening at Montana State. Donate to the Bobcat Club. Help us to continue to attract the very best and brightest student athletes that one day may be sitting in your exact seats with a degree from Montana State University and a career worthy of becoming a Bobcat Hall of Famer. Again, welcome and congratulations on your induction into the Bobcat Hall of Fame. Go Cats.
All right, well, it is time to honor our Hall of Fame inductees of the 2023 year. And up first in its history, Bobcat Athletics has enjoyed many great achievements, with a few rising to the level of dynasty. The architect of one of those dynasties is legendary rodeo coach John Larrick, who is our first inductee tonight.
When John Larrick became Montana State's rodeo coach in 1980, the Bobcats enjoyed an admirable record of success, but only the most starry-eyed optimist could envision even more. Larrick made that promise, and then he delivered. From 1985, when the women's team finished 5th in the CNFR, through 1996, at least one MSU squad finished in the top 5 every season. That included the Women's National Championship in 1986 and titles by the men in 1988, 1990, 1991, and 1995. 7 individuals won event national titles, and 4 gathered all-around championships, creating one of the greatest dynasties in Bobcat history. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bobcat Hall of Famer John Larrick.
Oh boy, am I humbled to be here. I've had a wonderful, wonderful life. I've been blessed. I grew up in a place where there was 2 in my class, 1st through 8th grade, and you had to walk to school in 6 foot of snow. And just, I guess I was kind of a wild one, but I went and did my thing. And college wasn't going to be part of it. But I ended up in California, and college hired me to run their ag farm. And I got this idea. I had to start a rodeo team. And that would have been in 71, maybe. And so just the people that happened to be there, we threw together a college rodeo team, and I was still young enough to compete, so I was on the team. Well, I was the boss, so, but we got an arena, hustled stock, lied, cheat, and steal to have enough to get by, and we qualified for the college finals the very first year, and went to college finals, 1/3 in the nation. And this was just a put together deal, I'm telling you. But I think about how fortunate that I ended up in that position. And so this, you can't imagine what a blessing to be here and realize that, you know, people thought it was okay. But the table where I'm sitting over here, I have people that came from, that college rodeoed for me in California, Salinas, California, and I was from up north here. They're here, some from MSU, and there's 2 all-around champions of the world in pro rodeo sitting over at these tables were my students. And there are 6 or more NFR cowboys sitting over here that was in the program, that first one I did. And it was just a labor of love. And I had big thoughts and goals, but the very first year, we qualified for the college finals. We darn near beat the #1 team that was national champs every year, and which was Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo. I was in California, and but we made it second, so you got to come to college finals, which was here in Bozeman, and we came up here, and we were 3rd in the nation. And so with that start, I thought, boy, I got this figured out. We can get her done, you know. And so I've got Hartnellians and MSU Bobcats all sitting here. 2 of them are world champion all-around cowboys, calf roping champ, bronc riding champ of the world. And so I'm blessed. But I have to keep working at this to be able to talk. And normally I don't have to work at it to talk. But you know, this is a wonderful, wonderful thing here, and makes me feel good about myself. But that I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity, and now seeing these people from long ways away have came up here, and believe me, there's a bunch of my former students here, and so it worked, you know, it really worked, and here, I don't remember how many national championship teams we had from Bozeman while I was coaching, but it's humbling. This is more humbling than it was at the time it happened. to be recognized and appreciated. And so all I want to say now is thank you, people, for coming. And this is the coolest thing I ever had happen to me. Thank you.
All right, up next, you know, it's rare that a college basketball player ends up as one of her program's career leaders in both scoring and assists. But that rare player was our second inductee tonight, Katie Bussey. Let's take a look at that now.
Katie Bussey scored more than 1,700 points and dished out over 300 assists during her brilliant Bobcat career. But the story of her impact on Montana State women's basketball goes far beyond stats and records. During her 4 seasons, she helped MSU become a consistent winner, boosting the Bobcats to 3 top 3 finishes in the Big Sky without a losing season. She is Montana State's most recent honorable mention All-American, earned first-team All-Big Sky honors once and second-team honors once as well, and still holds the school record with 254 three-point field goal makes. Originally from Alamosa, Colorado, please welcome Bobcat Hall of Famer Katie Bussey.
Wow. Well, I used my heart rate joke last year when I was in front of less people than this, so I'll have you know it's about 105. So playing in front of Cat Grizz, I mean, that was a lot easier than doing this, but hopefully we see a lot of you there tomorrow to support our team, and I've written something here, so I'm going to read it and just bear with me, but thank you to Leon and Bobcat Athletics for this incredibly special recognition. Congratulations to all the other inductees. How special it is to share this day with all of you. Thanks to all my family and friends who came to share this moment with me tonight. And I am honored to be added to a tremendous list of Bobcat athletes and coaches. My name will stand alone, but I would not be here today without a long list of people who supported me, believed in me, and stood alongside me. My journey has carried to places around the world. From a small Colorado town, the little girl who carried a basketball like it was attached to her had visions of using it to make her dreams come true. The support I've had from my family is what turned those dreams into reality. They put up with the sound of the ball bouncing on our concrete basketball court from the early morning to late night hours. In high school, my sisters, Emily and Erica, who are here tonight, they would steal my basketball just to get me out of the gym so they could finally get home. They were my biggest fans, biggest protectors, and you couldn't miss their presence at my games. My dad, Dwayne, also here, he was my teacher. I can remember the first time he taught me how to do a crossover move, the countless hours he spent rebounding my free throws and step-back jumpers, and calm voice of wisdom after a tough game. My mom, Lori, she's always been the backbone. If confidence and self-belief were a being, she's sitting right there. She had no doubt that I had a gift, and she would never let me forget it, no matter the competition or stage of my career. They've been by my side through it all and continue to be the driving force that pushes me to be my best. I am standing here today because Coach Binford took a chance on me. She and her coaching staff at the time overlooked what others saw as a downfall and believed in what I could bring to the program. I had no expectation of what I could accomplish here. I just wanted to bring my best and contribute to their vision. I believed in myself and wanted to give my all for those who believed in me. They pushed me to be tough, challenged me to be gritty, and ignited my energy and enthusiasm for the game that I love to play. We didn't win a championship while I was here as a player, but there is no doubt that they developed a champion in me. The accolades I received were hard-earned, and I'm proud of those things, but they don't compare to the foundation that Coach Binford, Coach Starr, Coach Close, Coach Scanson, and Coach Mendiola set in leading me to be a great person, a great leader, and a great teammate. They all deserve a piece of this recognition, and I'm so thankful for them. You can never stand alone on a basketball court. I couldn't have done anything here without my teammates, many of whom became my best and lifelong friends. There are things you go through with your teammates that you can't explain unless you've experienced the same. You laugh together, you cry together, grind together, and at times you want to kill each other. And yes, I'm talking about practice. To all the teammates I was lucky enough to share the court with, I share this honor with you. I wouldn't be here without you, and we all always bleed the same blue and gold. Here at Montana State, my team went beyond just players and coaches. When you join the Bobcats, you join a family, an amazing community inside and outside of these walls. I stepped on that court each night hoping to make our fans proud. I wanted them to know how much I loved being a Bobcat and competing for them. Their support was and continues to be such an important component to giving kids like me the opportunities to achieve their dreams. I think back to that little girl and what I would say to her. Katie, one day you'll be in a Hall of Fame. You'll travel the world as a professional basketball player. You'll meet the love of your life who shares the same passion for the game as you do. You'll get the opportunity to work alongside a legendary coach. You'll get to call Bozeman, Montana your home. You'll get to bleed Bobcat blue and gold. You'll leave your mark. Your dreams will be reality. There's truly no place I'd rather be. Thank you.
All right, don't forget Coach Bussey, Coach Binford, and all the women's basketball team tipping at 2 p.m. tomorrow for Cat Grizz, and then the men at 7. So big doubleheader tomorrow at 2 and 7 over at Worthington Arena. All right, up next, starring in 2 unrelated sports is a rare accomplishment in Division I athletics. But our next inductee held that distinction. Let's now take a look at football and wrestling star Lonnie Burt.
For 3 years, Lonnie Burt anchored the middle of the Montana State defensive line, occupying blockers with his blend of strength and quickness and making more than his share of plays. As a senior, Burt helped ignite MSU's 1984 national championship season, earning all Big Sky honors for the second year and landing All-America honors. By the time postseason awards were handed out, the former multi-sport high school star had already donned his singlet for the Bobcat wrestling team. As a senior, he finished as Big Sky runner-up for the 3rd straight season, rolling up an 82-17 career record. Ladies and gentlemen, originally from Helena, please welcome Bobcat Hall of Famer Lonnie Burt.
Wow, tough act to follow those last 2, let me tell you. Okay, well, first of all, I just want to thank a lot of people. I could go on all night about that, but all my teammates out there, Kenna, Califat, Mark Fellows, previous inductee, Timmer, I could read off many more. Just want to thank you for being here tonight. So, special night. I've got my family here and very, very happy about that. So as far as I want to thank the committee for voting for me, Mom, Dad, and God. All my coaches, Coach Lubick, who's retired, went to CSU, recruited me, took a chance on me, Coach Arnold, Coach Kramer, Coach Graber, Coach Joe Yanaski, who passed away, special shout out to him, who let me play the way I wanted to. He let me be so free, lining me up in all areas on the field. It was wonderful. He just made me feel like I could always do it and gave me the confidence. Big shout out to Coach Rock Gullickson. I'm sorry to see him not be here tonight, but helped us all be strong. He helped us be, stronger than we ever could have imagined. He made my bench squat and deadlift go through the roof, and all my teammates. And I think we all obviously owe him a big gratitude for all the success that we had. My teammates. Without my teammates, obviously I wouldn't be here tonight. These guys, we called ourselves the Cardiac Cats, for those of you who don't know, okay? The Cardiac Cats, we'd be down by 10, 20 points sometimes. We'd always come back. We always believed in each other. And that's hard to know, especially coming off a previous year of 2-9. So nobody picked us, nobody, including ourselves, until the next year. And then we started pulling it together. And that's when we realized we could do it. And it was all just a huge team effort. And I just want to thank all you guys for that. They were all responsible for just making us the success we had that year. And I hope to Lord, we're so close to getting there again. And I know everybody's in place with that right now. The coaching staff, the athletic director, everything they have right now is in place to do it again. And they will do it again next year. Being a two-sport athlete, wrestling, I want to give shout outs to my coach, Lanny Bryant. He's still alive. I think he's 102 now. He's still at Missoula. He's in Missoula. And every time I text him, I get no response, so he probably doesn't have a phone. So I want to give a big shout out to him. He made me the wrestler I was as well. And I just want to thank him. But one thing I want to say about the 84 team that a lot of people don't have, it brought closeness. We lifted together, we ate together, we lived together, and that made us special. That made the team special. So anytime I see youngsters come in, be close to your teammates. Count on one another. Count on one another, because that's what makes you win. You don't win as individuals. And that's one thing I want to really give to the new group coming in for years to come. I also want to give a big shout out to the current Bobcat. Like I say, they have done an excellent job winning or coming to the national championship last year in Frisco. It was great to see that turn out. I was very, very proud of that team. And then this year getting into semis, very proud of them. And the winning tradition is only getting better and better every year, and I appreciate that. And then our athletic director, Leon Costello, I give you such a big hand for assembling this coaching staff you have. It's wonderful. Everybody is on the same page, and you've got athletes that are just amazing here. So keep it up. Again, thank you for this wonderful award, and I want to thank all my teammates again for being here. Thank you, and God bless.
All right. Our next inductee went about his business with a quiet intensity that perfectly reflected his status as a star offensive lineman, both at CMR High School in Great Falls and at Montana State. So up next, let's take a look at the two-time All-America, Jeff Hansen.
Jeff Hansen's primary role in the Bobcat football program was to protect quarterbacks and pave the way for running backs, but along the way, he helped prove the adage that iron sharpens iron. Jeff Hansen joined MSU's starting lineup at center in 2006 as a redshirt freshman and never left, earning All-America honors in 2008 and 2009 as a guard. While Hansen's work directly benefited the Montana State offense, he is credited for boosting fortunes of the Bobcat defense and several of its stars. Future NFL player Dane Fletcher called competing against Hansen and Mike Person a key to his development, and two of tonight's inductees also worked against Hansen early in their careers. Originally from Great Falls, please welcome Bobcat Hall of Famer Jeff Hansen.
All right, this should be fun. I almost brought my paper itinerary up here so that I look like I wrote something down, but I just decided to roll with it. So I'm glad that my introduction also mentioned my quiet intensity so that I am not judged by my speaking ability in public. I just want to start off by talking about the university in general. I was very, very fortunate, I feel like. Sorry, this is going to take me a minute to get through. The first picture was my mom, who just passed away 6 months ago. So I apologize, but this is probably something that would have been the most important in her life. So it's hard to hold back those emotions in a moment like this. So I'll get it together. But let's get that out of the way because she was a very special woman. And I obviously miss her a lot. So wish she was here, but I'm very fortunate to have all my friends and family, so many of them here tonight. And I'm really appreciative to have such a great support network. My dad's sitting here in the front, and my wife videoing me, of course. So she can make fun of me later, who I also met here at this fine university. But again, very, very thankful to have been a part of this university and extremely excited to see the future. Coach Ash is fortunate enough to have him here as well at Jody's table. And I also played with Jody and Caleb, which is an amazing experience to share this day with them. Coach Ash was the leader, I feel like, in our university from my time here as far as a student athlete. That was something I strived really hard to be as a student athlete. Graduated from here with an engineering degree, and it was a lot of work to get through, and very proud that I was able to do that and do it successfully. And Coach Ash was a big part of that. He always talked about the importance of education, and that's something that can fall to the side. And Coach Ash really made that a big part of this university, and it continues on to this day. And I'm just excited to see, like I said, the path of the university has been fantastic to watch as they grow, all the buildings that are going up, the success of the teams, not only in just football, but all the athletics, and not only on the field, but off the field. We're producing great individuals, which I think is more important than anything that happens on a court, on a field, anywhere else. Coach McIndoe is my offensive line coach, and he told me, he said, be the guy you want your daughter to marry. And so I've worked hard my whole life, and I would hope my mother and father-in-law back here would say that I'm that guy for their daughter. So Caleb and I were actually just reminiscing about the days of when he came in as a freshman and he was playing on the scout team, and Mike Person is already in the Hall of Fame. He and I played together side by side for 4 years, and Caleb came in as a freshman on the scout team, and Caleb would just go as hard as he could, and bless his heart, like Mike and I were relentless, and he just kept getting back up. He just kept coming harder, and it's amazing to be sharing this moment not only with him, but with Jody as well as teammates. We spent quite a few number of years together, and it's really a special bond that you're able to create and grow in a football team, and that's actually one of the things that drew me to being a fireman. Is that unity. I have two of my fellow firefighters here in the front row, and God, this is so hard. and I'm thankful for everything that this university has set me on a path for. I'm excited for the future, and I look forward to seeing what the university continues to do, and as well as myself being a part of that path. So with that, I just want to give one more shout out to my mom. I wish she was here today to see this, because she absolutely is the one person on this planet. If any of you guys knew her, she was about as feisty as they get, and she was a bobcat till the day she died. She held nothing back, and I do all this for her, so thank you.
All right. Wonderful words. Thank you for sharing. Up next, achievements that look amazing in the moment are one thing, but those achievements that stand the test of time are another matter entirely. Our next inductee's career as a Bobcat pole vaulter falls into both categories. Let's now take a look at the career of John Wirtz.
John Wirtz soared higher than any Bobcat ever had in the spring of 1998, and also soared higher than any Big Sky Conference athlete ever. In fact, Wirtz's pole vault of 18 feet 1/2 inch remains not only a Montana State outdoor record, but 25 years later remains the best outdoor vault in Big Sky history. John Wirtz won indoor Big Sky championships in 1995 and 1998, and outdoor crowns in 1994 and 1995. Originally from Rapid City, South Dakota, please welcome Bobcat Hall of Famer John Wirtz.
Mama, I'm more nervous now than I've ever been. Well, I hope everybody's comfortable, because this will be pretty long-winded. Well, good evening. First off, I got to apologize. It's come to my attention as I get older, the more emotional I get. So I will probably choke up at some point during this evening, and just please bear with me. Also, I take less risks now that could induce bodily harm, such as cliff diving and stuff like that. Places that I've cliff jumped since I was a kid. You used to go up there, you just run and just do your thing. Now I'm like, oh my God, did they raise the mountain or did they lower the reservoir or what? But I don't know. I'm just a little more fraidy cat. Probably not any pole vaulting either. Although when I do go to track meets, I'm like, man, I bet you I could do that. And then reality kicks in, and I'm like, nope, way slower, too much girth now, so out of the question. And then finally, it seemed like when I turned 40, it's like, bam, you're blind, sucker face. And now I can see stuff far away, but reading, gotta wear glasses. So everything's large print now. So first of all, I want to congratulate all the outstanding athletes and coaches and people that are being inducted tonight and those before me, especially, where's the Emily at? New track and field Hall of Fame bestie, Emily, congrats. So, all right. So, is being inducted tonight the greatest for my soul? On 1 November 1992, when I accepted Jesus Christ as my Savior, that was the greatest for my soul. Is being inducted tonight the greatest for my life. On 15 November 1997, when that woman, Heather, sitting over there, said I do, that was the greatest for my life. Is being inducted the greatest for my pride. On 25 April 2000, our first son, Jamin, was born. On 4 October 2002, our second son, Gabe, was born. And on 6 June 2006, our daughter, Hannah, was born. That was the greatest for my pride. Is being inducted tonight one of the greatest honors. On 17 February 2023, being inducted into this 2023 Hall of Fame is the greatest honor. I am truly humbled and honored to be part of this event and be part of history with so many other amazing and talented people and athletes. Thank you. All right, where do I begin? I told you this could be long-winded. Just bear with me. All right, so I guess I'll start at the beginning. In the beginning, there was Dad, God rest his soul, and Mom. Then allegedly, I was born. I, like so many others out here, I was really young when I was born, so I really don't remember it. I have zero recollection, but it was the 70s, so who knows. Then my sister Rachel, who I tease is older than I am, was born, and then my bigger than me little brother, who's standing over there, was born. My sister and I were born in Rapid City, South Dakota. We moved to California, where my brother was born, then back to Nebraska, and I started 3rd grade back in Rapid City. So I've been in Rapid City for most of my life. Fast forward in a couple years, I started pole vaulting my junior year of high school during football. Prior to that track season, my buddy and I said I should try pole vaulting. I said, okay. So I started pole vaulting when track started. Loved it from the beginning. Had a great vault coach, Coach Ray Botel, who was also one of our high school math teachers. World renowned for being able to freehand draw a perfect circle, which I guess is pretty awesome. He, like most school coaches, they take kids, turn them into athletes. They must somehow take that God-given talent and turn it into something viable. They have to deal with kids going through puberty, with the body changes, mental and attitude changes. For me, trying to get this gangly, uncoordinated kid to run with a pole and get off the ground. No offense to college coaches, but high school coaches for some sports are starting from scratch and building a foundation for a successful athletic career for future coaches to build on, no matter how far one gets in their athletic endeavor. They help you gain confidence in yourself. They break down those self-imposed barriers that you have built within yourself of the I can't attitude. They bring out what's already in you and help you to get the most out of yourself, both physically and mentally. They help you to exceed what you think is your maximum potential. These are lifelong lessons and do not just simply apply to sports or athletics or physique, but also for one's mental well-being and how you change your problem-solving abilities in working with others for a common goal. Then you get to college. The college coaches take that foundation and they mold it and fine-tune it into something that is almost unrecognizable from where it began. Coach Botel told me one day at practice during my senior year, he said, when you get to college, these coaches, they're going to teach you more than I can and teach you more than I know. I was like, well, you run with a pole, you plant, and you go over the crossbar. How much more is there to learn? Well, back to my junior year, eventually, I went to 14 and some change that year. Senior year comes around, and I pulled my hammy during football. So I said to myself, you're never going to get anything for football. So I hung up my football cleats for my track spikes. Senior year season rolls around, and for the life of me, I could not get a qualifying height for state. During practice, had no problems. Seemed like non-qualifying meets, had great jumps. But finally, eventually, at one of the meets, I can't remember which one, but I eventually qualified for state. For that year's state track meet, the pole vault had to be rescheduled for a different time and location due to weather. The meet was in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, which probably nobody knows where it is, and it had to be moved to Mitchell, South Dakota, a day later. And at that meet's where I got my 16-foot jump, first 16-foot jump in South Dakota. 2 years later, a buddy of mine, Andy, from the same high school, beat that record. So that's pretty cool. But because of that 16-foot vault, they qualified me for some high school and national meets. I got to go to the Keebler Invitational in Chicago, Illinois. and another meet, I believe, in Salinas, California. So Mr. John and I have something else in common other than a great first name. A friend of mine, Greg Jemerson, at the time, we had to go around Rapid City. We were looking for donations to cover travel costs and stuff like that. Greg and I were kind of at two ends of the spectrum. I ran 50 feet or so, and he ran 10,000 feet. So it was crazy, but it was pretty cool. It was fun to see the support of the city to help us out to try and get to some of these meets. I'm almost halfway through, guys. So I graduated from Stevens High School in 1993. At some point during the end of the school year, my middle and high school buddy was coming to MSU for a campus visit. I decided to tag along so I could talk to the track coach. I found out who the track coach was and tracked down Coach Rob Stark. Asked him if he had some time to talk. He was very cordial, but he didn't know me from Adam. Yeah, they didn't do much recruiting in South Dakota at that time. You could kind of tell he was like, come on, kids come in here, try to talk to me about coming to ask MSU track all the time. We start talking. I told him I was a pole vaulter looking to go to school, and he's like, well, how high have you jumped? 13, 14 feet. I was like, well, I went 16 feet this last year, and he was like, oh, really? And then kind of just piqued his interest a little bit. But we continued talking and eventually got a scholarship, and I signed to come to Montana State. I get to Montana State in the fall and meet the coach, vault coach that time, Dave Christopher. He was a vaulter on the team as well and a decathlete also. My high school coach was 100% right when he told me that I would learn more. When I got there, I ran with the pole like a choo-choo train. It was awful. I'd run like this, it'd go back and forth, and I was all hunched over, death grip. It looked really ugly. It got the job done for the time being, but that's about as far as it was going to get me. Dave totally revamped my running style. No more forward movement. It was more of a, vertical. I don't know if there's any pole vaulters that are in here, but more of a vertical, get high, get tall, and run faster. Maybe hold the pole more vertical and let it come down during the run. All these tweaks and fine tuning increase my speed and help me to maintain more control, which in turn makes my plant more consistent. You're more square to the box as you travel, and you don't veer off to the side. And Dave was our vault coach for about 2 years, and he had some family stuff that he had to move back to Oregon for. My third year at MSU, we didn't have a vault coach. Mike Kerrigan, the throws coach, stepped up and did the best he could with us. He would videotape our practices and dissect each part with us. I bet you that guy's probably got 100,000 hours worth of video through all of his coaching career. He had coached long enough and been around long enough that he knew what a right vault should look like. During this year, at one of the practice, something strange happened though. During indoor practice, as I was coming down the runway, I planted and something didn't feel right. What had happened was that I had planted my pole and it went under the fiberglass box insert somehow. We had a raised wooden runway that we'd put together with a rubberized material on it and made it so fast. So we had this fiberglass box that would just sit in the where you'd plant the pole. And somehow from a prior vault to that, it had gotten knocked out and I didn't pay attention, and as I come through, planted underneath that. I didn't think it was a big deal. I didn't think it messed me up too bad, but I could not break through that mental block of the incident. I had broken poles in the past, didn't faze me. You'd walk around with a bruise on your side for a couple days, but you'd get back and go again. I'd go to meets, start my practice runs, go to plant, and just run through. Time for me to vault during the meet, go to plant, and just run through. I would go to Coach Kerrigan, tears in my eyes, and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong. I can't jump. I had gone to a school psychologist, tried to work through it. Nothing helped. After that box incident, I don't know if I got off the ground the rest of the year. It was pretty bad. After that outdoor season, though, ended in the May time frame or so, I informed the coaches that I probably wasn't going to return the next year and really had no plans to return. At this point in my career, I think I'd been jumping around 17 and some change. So I took the year off, the fall of 1996, spring of 97, to help with my family landscaping business. During that time off, I met this incredible girl on a Wednesday night in November of 1996 in Spearfish, South Dakota. On Wednesday nights, some buddies and I would go to Spearfish, South Dakota, where Black Hills State University was, about 45 miles or so from Rapid City. We'd go there to Sanford's Pub and Grub. They would move the dining tables out of the way, make a dance floor, and bring in a DJ. One night that I was there, this most beautiful girl in the whole place was there. Her friends came over to our table, asked me to ask her to dance. I did. She said, okay. As we were dancing, we were talking. I get through the real hard-hitting, life-pondering questions. I asked her if she likes to camp, hunt, and fish. And she said she was raised doing that and loves it. I was like, yes. This is too good to be true. As the night ends, we're all heading to our cars to go home. I asked for her number, not her cell number, but her phone number, and she reluctantly gave it to me. I call her the next day. We go out. We start dating. On December 1996, New Year's Eve, I asked her to marry me after knowing her a little over a month. She was everything I wanted in a woman: intelligent, beautiful, witty, funny. Most importantly, she wanted to build our marriage and family on the foundation of Jesus Christ. During this time, through our engagement, she kept telling me that I need to go back to MSU and finish what I began. I talked to Coach Stark, work out some details, and I'm back on the team, baby. So this time that I took off was counted as my redshirt year. I start back at MSU the fall of '97. I'm commuting back and forth about every 2 weeks to Rapid City to see Heather and help where I can with wedding arrangements. We get married 15 November 1997. One of my best men was also a fellow vaulter at that time, Chris Roper. He was like an older brother. Heather graduates from cosmetology school on Friday the 14th. We get married the 15th, and we drive to Bozeman the 16th because I had to start school on Monday. So prior to getting married, I'm almost done, guys. So prior to getting married, I'm back in Bozeman, still commuting, doing the commute thing back and forth to Rapid City. We now have a vault coach, Coach Tom Idle. I think he's over here somewhere. He's making fun of me back there. Coach Tom Idle, a previous MSU vaulter. He knows my backstory about what happened a year or so ago in my vault career. We start practices. We're outdoors as the weather is still beautiful, coming back to the fall. I run, I go to plant. Same mental block is there. The year off didn't help. I try several times. I get so frustrated at myself that unfortunately I lose it and yell an explicitive, or as SpongeBob SquarePants says, a sentence enhancer. You know, I try to live a good life, be a good person, try to be the best Christian I can be, but I'm human and a sinner and make mistakes. Not saying that saying a swear word is a sin by any means, but it just doesn't look good. Fortunately, there's a lot of grace because unfortunately, there's a lot of times I don't look good. Well, Coach Kerrigan from across the field yells at me, "Watch your mouth." I'm like, humbled by this. I walk over to where he was coaching and apologize to him and a future throwing recruit he was showing around the campus. I felt like such a jerk. I sulk back to the vault pit. You know, I can sense the frustration in Coach Idle. He says, "Let's start over. You know, you run, you plant, and I'll give you a little push." He goes, "I'll stand off to the side of the runway." I'm sure people are saying they just give you a little push to go. I run, I plant, he pushes, and I get off the ground. It's like, oh, sweet. Again, he says, I run, he pushes, I get off the ground. Again, he says, I run, I plant, I get off the ground. He doesn't push that time. And I never had a problem with it after that. Coach Idle embodied what it was and is to be a coach. He didn't give up on me. He helped bring out what was within me. He helped me to get back my confidence. Literally and figuratively, he pushed me to break through my mental barriers. My indoor season went well. I can't recall what my highest was during the indoor. Outdoor season went very well. We had a meet in Missoula, and that's where I got my 18.5 inch jump, which qualified me to go to nationals at the University of Buffalo in Buffalo, New York. My roommate for a semester, Miguel Galeana, he went at the same time, and a buddy of mine, Dan Grew's here tonight, decided to go, and well, I don't know where he went, though. Anyhow, he decided to go along too and surprised me that he's here tonight even. It was pretty amazing. I don't know what it was about nationals, but man, I was jacked. So jacked that I blew through my poles and unfortunately the crossbar as well. I made the opening height, I think, of 16.10 only. The other attempts, I blew through the crossbar. I had plenty of height, just couldn't get my standards right. Looking back though, if I wouldn't have had that bad year and took it off, I would not be here today. There'd be some other guy standing up here yapping at you. Who's to say if I would have kept jumping that next year, I would have got off the ground to go higher? Who knows? Would Coach Idle have been there? I don't remember if he'd gotten hired on that year that I was gone or the year that I got back. I don't know. I know one thing for certain, I would not have the life I have today. I would not have met the love of my life. I would not have the family I have. None of this for me would exist. I would not be speaking to you all right now, like I said. And at the time I was going through it, I was like, God, why? Now I know why. There were different plans for my life. You're not going to be a teacher. You're not going to be an engineer. You're going to be a pilot in the military. And I'm so grateful for those plans. I would not trade them for anything. If there comes a time in your life and you do give up on yourself, make sure you surround yourself with positive, loving, encouraging people who will stand beside you and push you when you need it. People who want to see you succeed. Give honor where honor is due. Say thank you to those that do stand by you and have helped you. I have been blessed in my life with a great family and friends who have done just that. Thank you guys for coming tonight. I got my mom and my stepdad here, my father-in-law and Denise here, my younger brother is here and his wife and my nephews. Thank you, Coach Botel, for working tirelessly to get me off the ground and establish that vaulting foundation in high school. Thank you, Coach Stark, for giving me my first chance and my second chance. Thank you, Dave Christopher, for fine-tuning my run and form. Thank you, Coach Kerrigan, for trying your best with what you had to work with. And thank you, Coach Otto, for not giving up on me. Where's my wife at? She's not here. Oh, she's out there. I was going to have you come up here, but you're way back there. I say behind every man is a great woman. I believe beside every great man is a great woman. Not saying that I'm a great man by any means. I do have a great woman beside me, in front of me now, even better. I would not be here today if Heather was not by my side from the beginning, encouraging me to come back to MSU. I would not have the life I have right now if she was not by my side. She has been by my side through the worst in life and the greatest in our life. She's the type of person you need to find in your life. This honor is just as much hers as it is mine tonight. Thank you, dear. What I hope you get out of my yapping tonight is to say that not all adversity is a bad thing. Sure, at the time it looks and feels like it is. Adversity makes you stronger, like iron being forged by a master blacksmith, creating something new and stronger and formidable. Adversity makes you change your way of thinking about problem and how you find new solutions to attack the problems. At the time, it may look like there is no light at the end of the tunnel. You may be just in the wrong tunnel. Keep moving forward, keep searching, and do not give up. Going through adversity, when you come out the other side, makes you appreciate what you have in life even more. Thank you.
Montana State's wrestling teams in the mid-1960s dominated the Big Sky Conference, and those teams were fueled by some amazing individuals. One of those individuals is our next inductee. Let's now take a look at the career of Jim Lockwood.
Jim Lockwood was at the heart of one of the great dynasties in Bobcat athletics history. From 1964 to 1966, the Cats won 3 straight Big Sky Wrestling Championships, and Lockwood helped lead the way. He lost only once before claiming the Big Sky Championship as a sophomore and was unbeaten in dual matches as a junior. Lockwood and his teammates compiled a 32-0-3 record in duels over those 3 seasons, with Lockwood claiming Big Sky individual titles all 3 seasons and a Mountain Intercollegiate Wrestling Association Championship in 1964. Originally from Glasgow, Montana, please welcome Bobcat Hall of Famer Jim Lockwood.
Now, unfortunately, Jim was unable to be with us today, but we are honored to have him as part now of our Bobcat Hall of Fame. Go, Jim! Up next, in the long and glorious history of Montana State football, no Bobcat had won the Buck Buchanan Award by the time we had gotten to the fall of 2012. But our next inductee changed all of that. Let's take a look now at the career of Caleb Schreibeis.
Caleb Schreibeis' senior season remains one of the greatest in FCS history, but from his early moments as a dominant special teams player, his impact on Bobcat football was unmistakable. He recovered a fumble as a redshirt freshman on a 2009 kickoff that was forced by his brother Joe, then helped preserve MSU's 2010 win in Missoula by recovering a fumble near the goal line. His 7 sacks as a junior in a second straight Big Sky championship season set the stage for his spectacular senior campaign. In 2012, he logged 12.5 sacks and forced a school record 8 fumbles as MSU won its 3rd straight Big Sky championship. After that season, he became Montana State's first ever Buck Buchanan winner and a unanimous All-American. Originally from Billings, please welcome Bobcat Hall of Famer Caleb Schreibeis.
Thank you so much. I want to thank the committee and the nomination and all the people involved tonight. It's been such an honor. It's been a huge, it's just been great seeing Coach Ash and former player Jody Owens and Jeff Hansen here. It reignited Everett down here, reignited a bunch of fun memories that have been distant, and so it's been good seeing you guys. Firstly, I want to thank my parents and my in-laws here tonight. Thank you for your support tonight, and then of course my family and my kids who made it as well, and I'll get to them in a little bit. I think I'll kind of approach this chronologically, and I won't take too long for you, but when I committed to MSU, I think a few months after my senior season of high school football, I remember I was raking leaves with my dad, and he grabbed me and was like, "Oh man, you're going to be a monster up there," and kind of shook me, and it's kind of one of those dad-son moments. And I remember looking at him, and he said, like, "You're going to be like Dane Fletcher and Bobby Daly." And I'm looking at him like, "Dad, what are you talking about?" And it's just a while, I don't know, standing here 10 years after the fact, you kind of look at the whole timeline with a little bit of clarity, and it's just cool to see the support my dad had me when I wasn't even there for myself way back in the day. But I get to MSU and I walk on and I show up to that fall camp and I'm facing off against Jeff and Mike and Joe, and bless my heart, I tried. But what Jeff left out was that I got him a couple times, and that was when the real punishment began. And so. I just got crushed after that, and that was a blessing because it woke me up to what college athletics was, and I didn't like it. I didn't like losing to those guys, and it was a lot of fun. But it was mentioned in the intro. I think one of my fondest memories was playing with my brother Joe, and that kickoff where he caused a fumble and I recovered. It was a meaningful experience, and to play in his shadow. Was actually a really proud moment for me. I want to thank too Coach Beck, the D-line coach. For some reason, he believed in me from the beginning and fought for me, and I'm just really thankful for my time with him. And then I want to thank the other guys on the D-line. You know, I got to play with some amazing players, and we had a ton of talent on our defense, and so I think some of my story is a little bit of survival. I had to survive that freshman year with Jeff and Mike Person. But when I was a senior, I was playing next to Brad Daly and Zach Minner and Jody Owens, all Americans. I mean, you go into a week, if you want to make any play on Saturday, you got to get after it because these guys were killers. And so, so that was, it was just an incredible experience playing next to those guys, and I never quite realized what had happened until I was standing in Coach Ash's office, and they told me that I'd won the Buck Buchanan Award, and Coach was there, and Bill Lamberty, and and Coach Beck, and it was just surreal. I mean, to be honest, it was never on my radar. As a Montana kid, there was a couple things that I dreamed of, and it was earning a scholarship in Montana State, and it was beating the Grizz. And we had just did that the week before, and and so this was just like this massive pile of whipped cream on top for my college experience. And after I got done with school, I was confronted with all these NFL opportunities, and this was a strange experience for me, and probably something that might not resonate with a lot of you here. But I getting contacted by agents, and I guess I'll maybe keep it brief, but I was so content with my time at Montana State. I was content with the players I played with the accomplishments we achieved, with my degree. Like I was so thankful for the purpose that football had in my life, and how it taught me so many things, mostly off the field, that I was ready to flip the chapter, and I was ready to look on to different things. And it was a difficult decision, and I, even now looking back, I remember just how much I labored over deciding if that was the right call or not. But 10 years removed now, I am so thankful and blessed, excuse me, with my life and where it's ended up. And so I'm very thankful for Coach Ash and being his first recruiting class, and bringing me on and dealing with me as a rabid walk-on. So right now I joked with Coach Ash, I feel like I'm in a walk-on period of my life. I started a company, and it's trudging through the weeds and getting it, figuring it out. But I'm really thankful for the people in my life. I'm thankful for my wife, Lindsay, who supports me every second, and my beautiful family. I'm thankful for my parents that have always been there. I'm thankful for my in-laws who have supported me unquestionably all along the way when there was questions along the way. I'm really thankful for Montana State. It's increasingly an honor to be included in a Montana State crowd. And so Leon Costello and Coach Vegan and the plethora of names I could list off are a part of that. And so I just want to thank you. This is a huge honor. So thank you.
All right, well, there are 2 more opportunities to beat the Grizz coming up tomorrow, which will be great. Moving up next, our next inductee enjoyed a tremendous career as a Bobcat javelin thrower, and they saved their best for last in their senior season. Let's now take a look at the career of Emily Tyrell.
Right from the beginning, it was building for Emily Tyrell. As a freshman, she finished 3rd in the Big Sky in the javelin and also competed in the long jump and triple jump, and a year later moved up a spot to 2nd in the javelin. As a sophomore in 2010, Emily finished 2nd in the Big Sky, 3rd in the NCAA West Regional, and 10th in the NCAA Championships in the javelin. Then, as a senior, she captured her first Big Sky championship and earned All-America honors by finishing 5th. Her toss of 170 feet and 10 inches in 2010 remains 2nd on MSU's all-time list. Originally from Grand Forks, North Dakota, please welcome Bobcat Hall of Famer Emily Tyrell.
This is probably one of my least favorite things to do is public speak, so it will be very brief. But this is truly an honor to be here today. I appreciate everyone that had a hand in making this happen. I want to thank my coaches, especially Jora Griffith. I'm not sure she's here today, but she's the one that really helped me perfect my technique and got me to being able to get to the nationals in the first place. And then when she left, Mike Kerrigan took over and helped me get my second All-American status and helped me get to the Olympic trials. And so that was wonderful to have both of them as coaches. And then I would like to thank my friends and family. We've got firefighter friends that are coming in from Anchorage, Alaska with me, and then California, Texas, and Washington. They've all made the trip up here. And yeah, just thank you very much for everyone.
All right, we are coming up near the end of this wonderful night of reflection and gratitude and wonderful memories. And the next inductee that we get to point to, there are a lot of things that Montana and Texas have in common, but one of the strongest connections is a love of football. Our next inductee brought his unmistakable passion to MSU, and the result was one of the greatest careers in Bobcat football history. Let's now take a look at the career of our next inductee, Jody Owens.
Jody Owens arrived at Montana State early in the wave of talented players from Texas that helped return Bobcat football back to championship stature, and his impact came early. He started 9 games as a redshirt freshman and earned honorable mention all-league honors in his first 2 seasons. By his junior campaign, Jody O had established himself as one of the finest players in the FCS by earning second-team All-American honors. As a senior, he was Big Sky Defensive MVP and a consensus All-American. In his final 3 seasons, Owens helped lead Montana State to Big Sky Conference championships, and he will always be remembered for his unrelenting passion. Please welcome, originally from Mesquite, Texas, Bobcat Hall of Famer, Jody Owens.
How's everybody doing? Doing good? Yeah. I'll start. It's just such an honor to be here amongst so many distinguished athletes and coaches. It's definitely big time. I get choked up thinking about it. I'm just so grateful to be standing amongst you. I never really aimed at being in the Hall of Fame or anything like that. I just love to play the game of football. And I wanted to see where I could take it. And so I'll just start by a few people I want to thank. Starting off, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for just, definitely, for saving my life and allowing me to be here. You look at the statistics, I'm probably not supposed to be right here in front of you, but I am. And it's all because of the Lord and the plan that he has for my life. I also want to thank my beautiful wife, Maricia. She is a rock star, being a coach's wife, and she travels around the world with me. She has my son with her right there, Jody Owens II. We have another one on the way. I'm so thankful for this young lady. She is my everything. Next person I want to thank is my mom. I don't know, a lot of people don't know this, but my mom had me at 15, all right? So just think about that. And for her to get me, to where I'm at today, it's unbelievable. She is an amazingly strong woman, and she works so hard, and I just wanted to make my mama proud. I mean, that's one of the biggest thing in my life still to this day. I want my mom to be happy that she had me. I guess I was a handful since I'm my only child, but I'm definitely thankful for her and all that she's done, and you deserve to be recognized, Mom. The next person I would like to thank is Coach Rob Ash. I know a lot of people have alluded to him, but Coach Ash is the all-time winningest football coach in Montana State history, And I think that needs to be recognized. And more than just football games, Coach has been a mentor for me. Coach treats me like his son. Every time he sees me, every time we have the opportunity to connect, Coach is just very insightful, and he just continues to lead me and continues to provide insight to me and my family. I'm so thankful for Coach Ash, and with the committee being here, I think Coach Ash deserves to be in this Hall of Fame as well. There's no question about it. So, all right. I would like to thank Coach Gaines. He's not here, but one of the fastest talking individuals that you'll ever meet. But he's responsible for getting me here to Montana State. He recruited me, and from that point on, I know that he certainly believed in me. So when he first saw me, he made sure that I knew that he wanted me to be in a Bobcat. Although one thing, he is a Grizzly, unfortunately, but he did an excellent job of recruiting us and getting us Texas boys up here. I know I got a few of my guys, Everett and Darius, they're here, and I want my teammates to just stand up really quick. If you guys wouldn't mind standing up really quick. Yeah, you guys, these guys. Yep. Come on, Juju. Yep. So I don't have any brothers or sisters like I alluded to, so these guys are truly my brothers. I love them with all my heart, and they mean the world to me, certainly. So I would like to thank Coach Ione, the only 4-time All-American in Bobcat history as far as football. He was my position coach, and again, he still mentors me to this day. Just the mindset of never being satisfied with anything. He instilled that to me, and that's something that I still use to this day, and it's gotten me certainly to where I'm at. So he wasn't able to be here today, but I'm so thankful for Coach Ione. He's a big-time coach. Next person I'd like to thank is Rob Higgs. I think Rob deserves a statue outside of that dang training room. I mean, the countless hours that he puts in and just how insightful he is as far as getting the student athletes back on the field, and just him being a great person and a great person within this community. So I'm excited for him, and I love Higgs as well. Mr. Costello, he's done an excellent job of just making sure, Bobcat athletics is on the up. So you're doing a lot of big-time things, and I know I told you that, but I think everybody else needs to know that as well, and I'm sure they know. We're lucky to have you as our leader, Bobcat athletics. Another person I would like to thank is Josh Perkins. Perk, raise your hand. Right there, yep. So a lot may go unnoticed, but Josh has helped me tremendously during my time here in Bozeman of just providing insight. Josh played here as well. I know his son is a starting center who's doing a heck of a job himself, but Josh is just such a great dude, and he just makes sure that all of us as student athletes are taken care of. Whatever he has, he's gonna give it to us, and he's gonna provide so much insight, and they don't call him the mayor of Bozeman for no reason. I just want to continue to try and thanking the other inductees. It's such an honor to be amongst you, so many special coaches, and basketball to track and field, all you guys. It's such an honor to be amongst you. And I know they certainly didn't save the best speech for last, because we had a lot of big-time speeches out there, so congrats to you guys. So, I know one of the inductees alluded to it earlier, but, there's adversity that you face in life. And that's one thing that I had to realize, that's a part of your story. So, when I first got here, I was about 187 pounds. I think that's what I weighed in at. And, the running joke was, they asked Coach Gaines, where did you find Jody, at a rehab? Yeah. So, yeah, I took it personal, though. I'm like, okay, rehab it is. But so that was initially just some adversity I had to deal with, just getting my body where it needed to be in order to be able to perform at the highest level. And so I couldn't allow that to deter me or not be the player that that I eventually became. So when I stepped on the field, I always felt like I was overlooked. I always thought that nobody really didn't recognize my talent, and so that kind of the edge that you saw me play with, that's the reason why. I always, a lot of people saw I talk trash, and I did it because, I enjoyed getting under people's skin, and I thought it gave us an advantage. I knew how to continue to focus on the things that are really important when you're trying to win a football game, and I could get people, worried about me instead of worried about their fundamentals. So that was something that I definitely used to enhance my game, so to speak. Couple more trials that I went through. So my junior year, a lot of people don't know I had a knee brace on, and so I played through a torn meniscus my junior year. And so Rob Higgs, every Saturday, he would have to drain my knee out of swelling so that I could go out, and perform in front of you guys. And so I ended up getting surgery after the season, played the season. I got surgery after the season. And as I was healing from one knee injury, I was training on one leg, and boom, I ended up tearing meniscus on the back of my kneecap. I don't know the official name for it, but I tore some cartilage. And so I'm sitting here with 2 knee injuries, and I have all these quote-unquote accolades or, expectations. I was voted initially to be the preseason MVP of the Big Sky Conference, and I'm like, I have 2 knee injuries. How are y'all voting me to do that, right? So that was, some more pressure that was put upon me, and I used it, and I ended up overcoming, because of those things. And just to go to say those trials and tribulations, those are the things that really make you in life. And so I embrace those things, and it's such an honor to be amongst you. So I'm gonna leave you guys with this. A favorite quote of mine is by Jay-Z. Says, "Difficult takes a day, impossible takes a week." So it's all about your mindset. So whatever it is that you want to achieve, you can do it. You just have to have the right mindset and seek the right people, and your dreams will and can come true. All right, and so that's basically the end of what I'm gonna talk about. But I want to do something a little bit different. I think Mr. Lamberty, or however they piece it together, they put me at the end because they know I probably would say or do something. So I'm not going to let you down, that's for sure. So I know this is something that Coach Ash made sure that we knew and understood, and it's our fight song. So we're gonna all get up and we're gonna sing the fight song. Let's go. Go ahead, stand up. Here we go. I know a few people better know it, or Coach is gonna be mad at you. That's for sure. All right. So I'll lead it. I can't sing, so don't judge me, okay? All right, here we go. Stand up and cheer, so loud and loud for dear Montana. For today we raise the blue and gold, victorious. Now cats are fighting, and we're sure to win the frame. We got the vim, we here to win, 'cause it's dear Montana State. Thank you.
Now, I told you this was one of the best nights of the year, right? One quick housekeeping item. To the inductees, please don't go anywhere. We're going to take a group picture up here afterwards. We want to get you all together. And I kid you not, we firmly believe that this is one of the best nights of the year. To the Hall of Famers before that are in the room, to the new Hall of Famers, you are the foundation from which this program was built. And as I'm sitting over here with our employees of the athletic department, you inspire us and you motivate us to be better every day, because we want you to be proud of your alma mater, and when you come back, we want you to be proud of everything that you see. So I want to say thank you to John, Katie, Lonnie, Jeff, John, Jim, Caleb, Emily, and Jody. How about one more round of applause? And Rainey probably wants me to remind you not to forget that we are going to honor you at both games tomorrow. So remember to meet us there. Now, tonight is all about you. However, tonight we also get to look forward. And being an athletic director, especially here at Montana State, is awesome. 95% of it's really, really good. 5% of it is just okay. However, I remember telling each and every one of these inductees that they were inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I can tell you, when I make the phone call or I see them in person and I get to tell them that they're going to be enshrined and forever be enshrined in the Bobcat Hall of Fame, it is one of the best days of the year. And it's one of the best phone calls that I can make. And I had the opportunity this week to call next year's class. So I get to announce next year's class. So the 2024 Bobcat Hall of Fame inductees are Kim Berg, track and field. Brad Daly, football. I think he's still here. Mr. Butch Danberger, football. Think you're already in on a team, but you're going in just by yourself, buddy. Dan Davies, football, golf, administration, and radio. Kelly Gillum, golf. Casey Germain, track and field. Larry Leonard, wrestling. Denarius McGee, football. And David Phillips, track and field. That's our class for 2024. So once again, thank you again for everybody for coming, for showing up, for being in Bozeman. What an honor it is to be in front of you. What an honor it is to be your athletic director. What an honor it is, it's going to be to kick some Grizzly, you know what, tomorrow. Thanks again for joining us, and go Cats.